And he's also like getting crotch kicking lessons from Gary Busey. He's like, come on, I taught your son how to fight dirty. You can't be mad at me.
You can't be mad. I taught him how to kick someone in the nuts. That's what fathers do.
Taught him the saxophone. Taught him how to turn into a cookie.
Well, Phelan, it's been years in the making, but finally we're going to cover Hider in the House.
This should be your required viewing.
By watching this show, you're going to discover things about yourself you did not even know. That's why this show is imperative to watch.
It's the thriller with a stupid name.
Yeah, it's better than the name makes it sound, but it's still... could have some improvement.
Yeah, it's what it says on the tin, but if you could summarize maybe a paragraph, Phelan, like what is Hider in the House about?
Gary Busey was abused by himself.
What is this junk? You call this dinner?
Because in the voiceover, it's definitely Gary Busey playing his own father. Yeah. And then he grows up to be Gary Busey, and he's really messed up from it. So he's like, I need to find my own family. So I'm gonna make a secret compartment in this house that's being built that they'll never notice for some reason, even though there's windows. They should probably be like, why can't we see the area those windows are attached to inside?
I made up in my mind that there was a plot point involving that, but there isn't.
And Gary Busey just decides to live in the house and then integrates himself into this family's life.
You could say he's a hider in the house.
Yeah, he's kind of a hider in the house.
Like his father, who was a hider before him.
Yeah.
Jake will continue his legacy.
I didn't mean it. I'm sorry. Oh, no.
I will finish what you started.
That's Hider in the House 2 coming out from Vestron Never.
Yeah, this was one of Vestron's biggest hits, wasn't it?
Yeah, this was being made by Vestron Pictures just as it was folding, so it was supposed to be theatrical and ended up being...
And it was...
for like a week in Europe somewhere.
Yeah.
Lots of people probably saw it on TV a lot. This was made around the time Little Monsters was also being made by Vestron.
It's a movie you like a little bit more.
Little Monsters is no Hider in the House, that's for sure.
Who put bits in my apple juice?
This was, I think, the last movie that he filmed before his accident, because it was like 5 days after they finished filming is when that happened, so I guess it's kind of noteworthy that happened then.
Yeah, I guess Gary Busey was really into this role. He's like, I am the hider.
Yeah, they brought in a psychologist to make sure it was accurate with his character, and he was like, oh, this is a non-acting role.
Yeah.
I am that character. I'm the hider.
I'm the hider.
I am Hider Busey. From now on, you call me Hider, alright?
Go back.
It is a lot more fun because it's Gary Busey.
It is, yeah, because it's all in the mouth. It's mouth with Gary Busey, because even when he's like being pleasant, it's just he's got that snarl, you know.
Great shot you pointed out, like near the end, where you just see him in the background.
Yeah, there's a shot. It's supposed to be creepy. It is kind of creepy, where like Mimi Rogers has discovered his room in the house, and you see blurry Gary Busey in the background, out of focus, getting ready to close the door, and you see his teeth.
Yeah.
He's out of focus, and you're like, you know what his mouth is doing.
Yeah.
This was actually shot pretty well.
Yeah, there's some gorgeous shots in this, like especially with the lighting.
Yeah.
Like whoever did the lighting was like on point with some of these shots.
Yeah, they have like these like floodlights behind the house that like I think it was actually on location. It didn't look like a set to me, but they had these like high wattage floodlights so that at night like the silhouettes really pop behind the house.
You had these like light streams coming from behind it, and then they also had it so like the pool's light was reflecting on the side of the house.
Yeah, the pool looked really good. You had like the kind of steam coming off the pool for some of the shots where Mimi Rogers is getting ready to take a dip and he's watching her.
Mm-hmm.
They got the floodlight woods in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of it did look really great, and I think like it was nice watching it this time around because it was an HD copy and it was widescreen. And before we'd seen kind of a crappy DVD, and like it really looked nice.
Yeah, you have to appreciate the beauty of Hider in the House this time.
Yeah, if this had been theatrical, like. They had to have changed the name, though, right? Because, like, Hider in the House is such a dumb name.
It really is.
Like, what's that? Is there a hider in my house?
For some reason, like, it just got stuck in my head with the Beauty and the Beast theme, so I just always look at the title and I think, Hider in the House.
See, you get that stuck in your head. I get, like, the jingle from an episode of Big Wolf on Campus.
Call your girlfriend, call your spouse, tell the homies that Chucky's in the house. Yeah. Chucky!
Hider in the house, yeah!
It's gonna be some real fizzy business with this Hider in the House.
I got some soda pops in there.
That's how Gary Busey gets Mimi Rogers. Drugs her soda pops. No one will get that.
There's some deep cuts, and then there's fizzy business deep cuts. Absolutely no one but you and me watched Fizzy Business.
Brandon Quinn, Danny Smith.
You know what? We have no confirmation.
They might forget.
Like, what?
By watching this show, you're going to discover things about yourself you did not even know. That's why this show is imperative to watch.
But Hider in the House, huh?
Yeah.
They had a pretty good cast. They had Michael McKean and Mimi Rogers, Gary Busey, Crispin Glover's dad was in this.
Yeah, it was kind of funny because we were watching it and I'm like, who's that? He looks like he could play Crispin Glover's dad. And then you look it up and like, guess who he is?
It's the nose, the exact same nose.
Yeah. His face is just very similar too. Like, he showed me another picture where he's got a beard and like, you know, if I didn't know who that was, I might think it was Crispin Glover first.
Yeah.
I'm going to kindergarten.
Kindergarten. Oh, God, yeah. I wish I were back in kindergarten. Especially with you.
You'll be unsurprised to find out playing a creep in this movie.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like Mimi Rogers and a house full of creeps.
We were saying, like, there's, like, no good guys in this. There's
No.
Mimi Rogers and her daughter. You can't even really say the son is a good guy because
No.
the son is, like, setting fire to dolls pretending it's his cheating dad.
Neil, what is the matter with you?
Yeah. And he's also, like, getting crotch-kicking lessons from Gary Busey. Like, come on, I taught your son how to fight dirty. You can't be mad at me.
Can't be mad. I taught him how to kick someone in the nuts. That's what fathers do.
Taught him the saxophone. Taught him how to turn into a cookie.
Just imagine him playing the saxophone in the middle of the night, and they're like, you know, I feel like there's someone in the house. A hider, perhaps? Playing the saxophone.
It's just your missing dog.
The fuck is this? Your worst nightmare, butthorn.
They do a good job of, like, there's a time where he, like, falls asleep watching Mimi Rogers. It's like, that's creepy. And then there's that tension there because one of the kids is coming in, and it's like, are you, like, tense because you're like, oh no, what if he gets caught, not our hider? That is creepy. But then he goes into the bathroom to hide out, and, like, he's in the shower. There's no way, like, she would have to have no peripheral vision to notice the shadow in her
Yeah.
shower.
There's a couple times too where he's like peering in their window at night and it's like,
Yeah.
you would see someone there. He's super unobservant not to notice, like, in the pitch black of night someone.
Oh, and also in that scene too, in the bathroom. Okay,
He's hiding in the toilet.
Yes, he's hiding in the toilet, and then he jumps on over to the towel closet, and you pointed this out.
Yeah, like the blinds like open up inside the closet.
Who's opening blinds inside a closet? Like, it's like they built these hider blinds. They're
Yeah.
like, should we put these stalker blinds in this closet? Are you sure about this? This is a house built for hider.
Yeah, we never know when there's gonna be a hider in the house. This might be really convenient for him.
I feel like anyone who's lived in an apartment or a house with more than one story knows, like, there's no fucking way he was walking around in there and people didn't hear him.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like elephants, no matter what. You're like, what the fuck's going on up there? There was, like, I think one instance where, like, Mimi Rogers, when she's starting to catch on, is like, wait a minute, I hear some creaking upstairs.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, no way. Big ass Gary Busey, you're not gonna be hearing him.
Yeah, definitely.
Your worst nightmare, butthorn!
Just don't get like that little section he lives into, like just no one noticing that. Like once the builders are like finishing up the house and they look at this wall they didn't build, they're like, I guess that grew overnight. Let's leave. It's done.
Big houses are full of strange noises. We'll get used to them.
There's some, like, leaps of logic in this I don't really understand. Like, so Gary Busey, he kills the family dog, and we saw that immediately. We're like, okay, he's gonna kill the dog because this is a thriller, and also the dog's gonna, like, catch him. So he ends up poisoning the dog, and he buries him in the garden, where you know someone's gonna be digging around. And of course, later on, they find the dog's body. But, like, later in the movie, he kills the friend, and then he buries her out in the
X-Files woods. Yeah.
Is that the backyard? Because he's hearing people talking by the house, so it's got to be nearby. But it's like, where is this in relation to the house?
Yeah, at least a bit further back than just the garden, apparently. It's kind of funny, like, at the beginning of this, like, because, like, Gary Busey as a kid was caught for, like, burning down his house and killing his parents, and he was, like, in a psychological hospital for however many years.
Till he grew into an adult,
till he turned into Gary Busey.
Yeah.
And, like, he sees his doctor, like, a couple of times, and he's, like, saying some messed up stuff, and he's kind of like, yeah, I don't think it's really good we release him. And another doctor's like, nah, he's good unless you have some evidence that says he's not good. We'll let him go now. It's like, all right. And that's like the end of that plot line, like never comes up again.
Yeah, it never comes up. He tells his psychiatrist, he's like, well, I want to make sure that I don't burn down my house and kill my family again. And he's like, well, why would that happen again? They're dead.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, well, you know, like, if I'm in a house and I gotta protect it, right? And it's like, okay, so clearly he is implying he thinks, even if he was trying not to, he thinks he may burn down a house and kill a family again. And they're like, we got no evidence on this one, man. I don't know.
Seems fine.
You told me to just stop by. Remember? You told me to just stop by, then you slammed the door in my face.
At the end, like, I don't know if they're really in a better situation. So he, like, holds Mimi Rogers hostage, and she's taking her cheating husband back.
Michael McKean made a grand gesture of saying, like, hey, my bad.
Sorry about that. They got back together.
I just never thought I'd get caught was the thing.
Yeah, I didn't think a hider would set me up.
Yeah, it was Gary Busey, by the way, who set him up to get caught.
The fuck is this? Your worst nightmare, butthorn!
Okay, so he comes back with the kids, and then she says to run, get the kids out of there. They run next door over to Creeper Crispin Glover dad house.
Yeah.
He was clearly making moves on her, like he was feeling her and doing some kind of inappropriate things. Like he had some untoward intentions. It was like a creep off.
Yeah, it's a creep off. It's a creep off.
Yeah.
So you into sports?
No.
And he's the one that calls the police that shoot the shit out of Gary Busey. So he's the hero of the movie in the end.
Yeah. Mimi Rogers shoots him first for the fake out death.
Yeah, and then, don't you be grabbing my ankles on the stairs. Don't you do it when I go past you.
I'm sure he's really dead. Ah!
The fool. She's never seen a thriller before? Come on.
He grabs her little Richard. Ah!
They'll know that we filmed it back to back with that one. Movie making magic shattered. I liked the part where the son goes upstairs to start burning his army dolls because he's mad at his dad, and Gary Busey is watching. He's having kind of flashbacks to when he burned his house as a kid, and then the mom comes and catches him and has to put out the fire, and she's like, I want to know where you were learning this stuff. Why'd you do this? And like, I learned it from watching The Hider. Okay, I learned it from The Hider in the house.
Oh no. I thought I was teaching him good. Am I the baddie?
Wait a minute, maybe it isn't a good idea to teach kids these things. He's like following her kids around, breaks up a fight at school, and then all of a sudden he's at the house, and then he's wanting like a drink of water, hang around. She gives him a little bowl, I guess.
Thanks for the little bowl.
Like, these are some strange interactions. I guess part of it is maybe she's considering like dating after the husband cheats, but it's like, how this is like a day after or something, like.
And her best friend Rhea Repulsa is like, well, if you don't want him, I want a piece of that Busey.
Do you see Gary Busey in a house and you're like, hot damn, I gotta get on that?
He seemed really unstable, please.
Yeah. He seemed weird and awkward.
Yeah. I just love hiding in your house.
He had such a sexy snarl, is the thing.
Thanks for this bowl.
Thanks for the little bowl.
He did say thanks for the little bowl, but I mean, what do you say to that anyway?
Yeah.
Here's a little bowl. I always give that to strangers that come over that helped my kids at school.
Yeah.
Thanks for the little bowl.
It was kind of creepy when he like shows up at the bottom of the stairs and the little girl sees him and then he just like smiles and wanders off.
Yeah.
I feel like there would be a way to do this movie and be genuinely creepy with it. I think there were pieces of it, but I think the fact a lot of it's kind of in the middle of the day and Gary Busey is a little bit comical. There was probably ways to do like a legit creepy movie. Like there was that TV movie from the 70s, Bad Ronald.
Yeah.
That was a similar idea where the kids living in the walls. And I feel like that one was more successful as a spooky movie than this was. But this one was more entertaining overall.
Definitely. Yeah, because Bad Ronald kind of has that like burned out 70s feel about it.
Yeah.
It's kind of slow.
It's got the 70s stink for sure.
Yeah.
I was just passing through and I thought you might like to take a movie in with me tonight. Oh, I read today where the circus is in town. I thought maybe you'd like to take in a movie this evening. Oh, I read in the paper where the circus is in town.
I think we could take in a movie. I hear the circus is in town.
I heard the circus was in the attic. You want to come?
Circus in the attic. I hear there's a fear clown. Some kind of fear clown. You might know him real well. Gary Busey's like really lax at some of this, like when he gets caught by her friend and stuff, just strolling down in the husband's robe. He's like, all right, I know this is weird, but she asked me to be here.
Hider's rights?
I'm living in the attic, killing exterminators. It's okay. Don't scream.
Oh, he killed the goldfish too, but that was an accident. That's the thing. Like, about half of them were accidental murders, so he's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, my bad."
Yeah, her friend had a glass neck, I guess, because they're just kind of rolling around on a pillow when he accidentally snaps her neck.
Yeah. Well, I think the exterminator was the only intentional murder. Everything
dog.
else... The dog, too. Right. The exterminator and the dog were the only intentional murders. Everything else was kind of like fallout from other things
Yeah.
or whoopsie doodles.
And, like, maybe that was part of the other draft of the script where he was supposed to be more sympathetic at the end.
Yeah, there was another draft of this, and the director ended up changing a lot of it, and the producers, I think, someone ended up wanting them to have a more, like, Fatal Attraction kind of ending, which I think if you're going to do a movie like this, there's only so much redemption you can do because someone is living in the walls and killing
Yeah.
people.
And spying on you, being a creep.
Yeah. I don't know how much of a hero you can make that person, but I guess if it worked for Norman Bates, I guess you can redeem anyone.
Just a normal guy.
He just wanted cheese sandwiches, that's all.
Everyone should be required to do this.
Would you recommend Hider in the House to anyone?
Yeah, sure. It's entertaining enough. It should be required viewing anyway.
Yeah, if you're a Gary Busey fan, this will be right up your alley. I think it's an interesting movie. I don't think it's going to waste your time. Probably not blow your mind, but I think like something that maybe not everyone's seen. Be worth checking out.
Yeah.
All right, well, check it out, guys.
Thanks for the little bowl.